Superhero movies. What can I say about superhero movies? Well, there's a lot of them. Like a lot of them. Like a lot of them. And as is the case with most movies, most of them are bad. But most of them are bad because of studio interference or on-set drama or like some combination of both. Very, very few reach that bottom of the barrel, horrible quality. But ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, I found one. Today I have for you Avengers of Justice Farce Wars, a 2018 released superhero movie, coincidentally at the same time as a major blockbuster that shared a similar name, but that's just coincidence, right? Right? Yeah, I found this in the dollar bin at Dollar Tree. Only where the greatest can be found. So yeah, I say let's crack this puppy open. Alright dude, quit your yapping. We got a lot to cover, but before we get into this, welcome to Tryin' Maiden. My name is Tryin', and I think you should like and subscribe or else you're going in the bargain bin. Let's get into it. Wow, we're doing this? Right out the gate. Oh, we are doing it! With great power came great liability, subtlety at its finest. This movie opens with the introduction of Dark Jokester, an amalgamation of the Joker and Darth Vader, who sent by, and I'm not kidding, Emperor Purple Guy to use a
Star Death Crypto Tesseract Thingamagoo
that is somehow thrown through a computer screen to plunge Earth into a permanent winter. Also, he has to capture the twins of Superbat because they're going through space puberty or something. Why? Never explained. Genuinely, never explained. And who was Superbat? This guy. Superbat is essentially a washed-up superhero. He used to be on top of the world, but as he grew older, he lost his powers. He also lost any and all regard for human life. Within the first minute of us seeing him, he ignores a woman who is being held up at gunpoint and makes zero attempt to do anything. This whole sequence is super funny for me for a few reasons. A, the store clerk is completely unfazed. He just goes back to his friggin' magazine while a woman is experiencing trauma a foot away from him. B, the kids are also unfazed by the literal shootout happening around them. Like, they are more concerned with their little soccer game. C, why is he going to the store to pick up ice and nothing else when the fridge that he's bringing it to clearly has the functionality to make ice on its own? D, this.
Get your ball.
Wow, that's professional right there.
E, he speeds past a burning building. Like, we're supposed to see that he's given up the superhero lifestyle begrudgingly, but I think that having no regard for human life is maybe a little far? Am I the crazy one here? Anyway, Superbat gets home, learns that he didn't get a job from a letter that fat shames him, and we're introduced to his wife, Jean Wonder.
The guy in the news said the sun will be the closest it's been in 2,000 years.
Yeah, that is the first line she says in this scene. First one. Continuing on with the exposition segment of the movie, we're introduced to Superbat's kids, Lucas and Rhea. It's their birthday today, yeah-yow! And we see Superbat emotionally abuse his children.
It's great, son. Why don't you put him in the corner, somewhere where I can't see him?
Yeah, my flesh and blood and only offspring, don't follow your dreams. I mean, I genuinely don't think I've seen a douchier douche in anything ever. If you told me that this man friggin' drop-kicked puppies off of the Grand Canyon because I'm sad and in a midlife crisis, I would believe you. Is he the villain? Is the true monster the cynicism that comes with old age? Am I the villain for buying this movie? Anyway, Superbat's son knocks over his mother's ashes, which is a running gag in this movie for some unknown reason, and we get this line.
Don't let your man cave become your tomb, Bruce.
Genius. I'm jumping off a roof. Later, we cut back to Dark Jokester, who has met up with his partner in crime, Lisp Luthor. He's Lex Luthor with a lisp. A bit that definitely doesn't get old for the many times he's on screen. Yeah, these scenes are pretty much just blah blah blah, we have an evil plan, Ice Age 2. Then we cut to Lucas and Rhea's birthday party, where we get introduced to the bootleg crew, El Capitan South America, Thor Baka, and Spider-Cat. But the best of them all shows up later. Tony Starch.
He's got an iron on his chest. And they use starch laundry.
Genius! Anyway, Lucas and Rhea get into a video game fight. Don't ask! Tony Stark gets blown to high heaven and we get more family drama.
Nothing I do is ever good enough for you.
Lucas, don't make this about that.
What? They all just nonchalantly brush off the fact that one of the most famous superheroes in their universe just exploded in their backyard on their watch? Anyway, Lisp Luthor convinces Lucas to join the naughty side of the Farce being the Force, and the naughty side being meaningless. The Farce, despite being a selling point in this movie's god-awful title, is never delved into and never explained. Maybe I'm just expecting too much, and might I say, this acting? Oscar-worthy.
Stupid robot. Stupid family.
But that doesn't matter right now. Crappy CGI fight! Show me those free assets, baby! Woo! Dark Jokester successfully converts Lucas to the dark side, whose entire conflict over the situation is just, okay. We get another Mother's Ashes gag, and Superman literally says, "So what if my son's been kidnapped? He's old enough to leave the roost."
I have no job, no money, and my powers are evaporating. I just killed Tony Stark, so now the kids don't want me around anymore. And my marriage to Jean Wonder is, surprise, surprise, not wonderful.
Okay, is this movie meant for kids? Like, these are kind of heavy topics to put into, like, a crappy parody movie, but a lot of the gags in this are too sterile for it to be for adults? So who is it for? Anyway, after this, Superbat meets up with Master Yoga, subtlety, played by WWE wrestler Shawn Michaels, and gets trained in the ways of the nice side of the Farce. During this whole training sequence thing, we get this monologue, and you kind of just have to hear it.
I used to be faster than a speeding bullet, and I used to fly. I mean, Gene and I would fly daily, like every day, sometimes 2-3 times a night. Oh. Boy, did we fly.
Again, I say, who was this made for? While all this is happening, Jean Wonder seeks the help of Lando Fury, who shows that the writer's creativity for bootleg superhero names was quickly going down the drain. Anyway, she hires him to look for Rhea, who left to look for Lucas on her own a few scenes ago. However, in true Lando fashion, he betrays Jean and captures Rhea, revealing that he was working for Lisp Luthor the whole time. After a definitely not inspired by The Force Awakens interrogation scene, we return to Superbat's training, where we meet the best character in this movie, Beaverine.
That's right. It's me, Beaverine.
He's Wolverine, except as a beaver, and instead of claws, he's got sharp teeth. So he's totally useless. Pretty much every time he shows up in a new scene, he says,
"That's right. It's me, Beaverine."
And I kind of love it. Anyway, they fight. We cut to Luthor and Dark Jokester with Emo Lucas testing their world-ending Ice Age 2 creating machine. And I honestly think the entire point of this scene is just to make Lisp Luthor bald. We return to Superbat, where we get a nice little out-of-place family drama argument between him and his wife when Beaverine shows up and just drops this absolute beast of a line.
"I'm gonna go scramble up your eggs."
Oh, baby! After this, we get more yoga training, which, may I say, Shawn Michaels' makeup is so all over the place. Sometimes it's good, other times it's not. It kind of looks like they shot all this in one day and didn't have time for the details. He doesn't even do much for Superbat's story other than being the obligatory mentor who gets killed character. Okay, quick lightning round, because we're already on page 5 of the script, and I don't want this video to be super long. Beaverine is definitely not having an affair with Jean Wonder. Superbat gets a sharp spike of character development through seeing his kid ghost thing in a puddle. There's a definitely not Rocky-inspired training montage. Rhea escapes from captivity, while Beaverine literally watches porn. Dark Jokester and Lando Fury kidnap Jean Wonder, and Yoga gets killed. Small little detail, before he dies, Yoga gives Superbat a pair of yellow boots. And it's just never brought up again. Anyways, final battle, third act time. Lando Fury got the raw end of the deal with Luthor, who ended up not giving him what he wanted, which was his eye. Somehow, though, by some divine intervention, he gets his eye back from someone who we have never seen him meet, and he breaks the fourth wall.
My persona is based off of a few pop culture characters.
Did you hear that? That was me flatlining. I can't do it. The Avengers of Justice fight through Dark Jokester's army, where they eventually meet Dark Jokester himself, whose entire evil plan was to kidnap Superbat's family and siphon their powers into popcorn and eat it. While Dark Jokester gets close to siphoning their powers, we get random, terribly edited flashes of Lisp Luthor dancing like Michael Jackson on the roof of the building. Truly a wonder of nature that needs to be seen to be believed. Okay, let's just wrap this up. Before Dark Jokester wins, the family has a psychic conversation because all women can read men's minds. Not kidding. That's the reason they give. And they all just make up. Lucas snaps out of his emo phase, and Superbat embraces the nice side of the farce, breaking Dark Jokester's spell, and the family is set free.
Fly me, Superbad. Fly me like you used to.
Oh. Superbat throws his car at Lisp Luthor, definitely killing him, and we get a happily ever after party on top of the grave of Tony Starch. Avengers of Justice Farce Wars is one of the worst things I have ever seen. It constantly straddles the line between family-friendly and very creepily sexual. None of the jokes land, and all I'm left with at the end of this is, who was this for? Who thought this would be a good idea? Am I ever gonna get that hour and 27 minutes of my life back? No clue, who cares, and probably not. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed watching me suffer through this movie as much as I didn't. I've been trying, this has been Tryin' Maiden, and I'll see you guys Sunday after next. Peace!